Okay, I guess we're doing this. I completely accidentally, I was supposed to put the settings on. Okay, I'll worry about them later. I just wish I could go into this. I don't know how to do the settings on this thing, but I guess we're starting up. I guess. Stupid thumb with my goddamn phone. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. And yeah, I made a mistake. I was supposed to do put the settings in, and my thumb accidentally pressed the live button, which is videos this week. This week has been a little hectic for me, because I'm taking care of my house on my own. My parents are gone, and I'm having to do everything on myself, which you'd think would give me more time to work, but that is not unfortunately the case. Anyway, so what has been happening, and the biggest question you might have is, Oi! Where the fuck's part 3, man? What happened to part 3 of your Dragon Ball Evolution review? I don't know why I'm Brooklyn for some reason. But I've been waiting for that goddamn part 3. Well, because of because of things I've had to do around the house, unfortunately, I will not be able to make part 3 this week. I sincerely apologize because the idea was to put part 3 out this tonight. It was supposed to come out tonight. However, a couple things. One, because of the massive amount of chores I've had to do and taking care of this damn house, as well as the amount of special effects involved, it's probably about, I will say this, it is about 89% done. 89 to 90%. There's that extra 10% I still have to finish up. So when will part 3 be out? Hopefully next week. It's just going to give me a bit more time and to work around the clock. I'm actually going to do an all-nighter tonight to get it finished. So that's why this live stream probably won't be that long, essentially. But I just need to get a video out there for you guys because I know you guys have been wondering where I've been for the last few days. But anyway, so a couple things to get off the bat. First of all, again, I wanted to put my settings in this. I don't know how to do the settings in live, which sucks. But I want to give a few shout-outs to a few people. I'll put their links down below after this video launches, after the live stream. The first one I want to give a major shout-out to is my buddy Tony Goldmark, aka Some Jerk with a Camera. Lately this week he hasn't been doing so well, and he's been getting a lot of support on Twitter. But I'll put a link down below after this live stream. Is the OG theme park reviewer, aside from Defunct Land and Yesterworld, who have pretty much taken his job, which is really sad, because I like Tony more. Anyway, so basically he's not in the best shape right now, so I figured I'd give him a little bit of a love and support and everything. I messaged him on Twitter and everything. He's doing all right. The other person I want to give a very special thanks to, and this is mostly for what's coming up in part 3. I want to give some last-minute shout-outs. One being BATTYALANA. She plays Android 18 on her show. She was a huge help in part 3. And I'll put a link down below to her Instagram page. You guys can go follow her. She's a fantastic cosplayer and really one of the best actors I've ever worked with, honestly. So there's that, and that's what's been happening. So there's a couple shout-outs there. And also, for those who are wondering, am I going to GFEST this year? If you guys saw my statement yesterday, no, I can't make this year. I'm stuck here in Canada, and it's hot enough as it is. Can't imagine how much hotter it is in Chicago, let alone the storms. But yeah, the reason I can't make GFEST this year is mostly next year I will definitely come down, and I think that's more up my alley because of Godzilla vs. Kong coming out next year. Hi, Brock. Good to see you. Hi, Ike. Hi, Thomas. But anyway, yeah, so I think next year will be more up my alley when it comes to GFEST with Godzilla vs. Kong coming out next year. However, I'm not going to say who. But I'm going to try to get a surprise guest there. I can't say who it is because I haven't even talked to him yet, but I'm going to see if he'd be interested in coming down this year. But there might be a potential surprise guest I'm going to bring in that I don't think even he's going to be on the guest list, so there's that. But anyway, so there is that happening. What else has been happening this week? Aside from taking care of the house and trying to get this part 3 done. At a theme park, which is fun. Theme parks are always awesome. I definitely have plans to go see Lion King next week. Lion King is coming out next week. So far, the reviews have been it's been 50-50, but it's been overall pretty positive. The biggest thing people are giving positive vibes towards is the visuals are stunning. Like, the visuals, like, this is next-gen game visual effects. And I don't honestly blame people for saying that, mostly because this is Weta Workshop. This is Weta Digital we're dealing with. Okay, if you guys don't know who the hell is doing the effects for The Lion King, it's Weta Digital in New Zealand. They're responsible for The Lord of the Rings, Congo 5, Avatar, and that's the thing. A lot of people are getting Avatar vibes to this movie, which also means the story's not really that good. And, I mean, it's The Lion King. You can't really change that. The music is another thing a lot of people are giving good praise for, and that's because of Hans Zimmer's amazing work. So, music, visuals, fantastic. Seth Rogen, and I can't remember who's playing Timon, steal the show. The cast is great. But a lot of people are kind of mixed on some of the acting and the story. But I'm going to go see it either way because I'm a sucker for, it's probably my number 2 favorite animated Disney film of all time. Number 1 being Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because, well, for the longest time, Lion King was my favorite. But as an adult, I appreciate Hunchback more for how much more mature an adult it is. So that's why I love it more. So with The Lion King, it was my favorite childhood movie, next to Toy Story and shit. But, and I did see the musical, which is a fantastic show. If you ever get a chance, go see it. But, the thing is, like, with the live action movie is that I've been kind of anticipating this for a while. And so far, the visuals are selling me. I don't care if it's going to be the same fucking movie. All I care about is the fact that it's a live-action National Geographic photorealistic CGI documentary. And even if you go in and just put headphones on and crank up the Led Zeppelin, as one guy put it, talking about Sucker Punch, you're in for a fun time. And so I'm just going to appreciate it as a visual experience rather than the story, because I can at least appreciate, like, holy shit, this is like a huge, big special effects movie. And I wouldn't be surprised if this movie gets nominated for visual effects. I don't know if you can nominate a visual effects movie that is the entire film, but let's wait and see. So Lion King is definitely on the go next week. I'm going to try to see it with a couple of buddies. We're going to do opening night on it. But anyway, so that's been happening. What else has been happening? Taking a bit of in between chores and working on the 100th episode, I've been obviously building my props, which I like to do as a little spare time. So one of the things we are gearing up for, obviously, is starting to shoot the Star Wars prequels. We started production a few weeks ago. We're still in the middle of it. We're going to change the script a little bit. We want to do a few rewrites just to make it a bit more simple and not too complex and padded, essentially, like an anime, essentially. But one of the things I've been doing is actually updating our prop weapons. So one of the things I've been doing, this is a little tip, for anybody who wants a proper Star Wars prop, but they don't want to spend hundreds of dollars, all you have to do, this is why I'm in the workshop actually, is get one of these suckers. Get one of these toy Star Wars blasters. This is one of the Clone Trooper ones. I think this is also a Nerf one. You know, click it back. It actually makes the sound, which I really like. But anyway, so I buy all these secondhand at thrift shops and Salvation Armies and stuff, and what we call Value Village here in Canada. Pick these up, and then if you want to make it more accurate, film accurate, just spray paint the fucker. So this is it, completely spray painted, and it actually looks really nice on camera. It actually still has the light too, which is interesting. But this is in terms of building Star Wars props, just get the toys and just spray paint them black. So I did a Clone Trooper blaster. I did a Stormtrooper blaster to make it more film accurate, so you can, you know, it's got the little light and everything. So yes, it is Star Wars. So we are trying to go for more film accurate props. I managed to also, oh shit, there goes my source of tripod, because there's no tripod on this damn thing. Hang on, let me just take this little thumbtack thing, and there we go. Is that a little better? That's a little better. Made a battle droid, did a battle droid blaster as well, because yes, there will be battle droids in this, because it is the prequels. This is one of the prop battle droids, but the one I'm actually really happy came out really well is, I'm actually gonna, can I put this guy back up? Let me see here. One moment as we adjust. No! Oh, there goes my Coke Zero. Oh, fuck. That sucks. You know, this is what happens when you're on a cord and your phone's at 38%. Is that okay? Hey, get on the movie. Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, so the one I'm actually the most happy with, sorry for that little technical problem, is so my buddy Josh, who plays Han Solo, our Han Solo essentially, and Gamer64. Again, I'll put a link down below to his channel after. He had one of his props was the Han Solo blaster, and it was just a Nerf blaster. It was all blue and shit, but I modified it and made it more film accurate. So this is the Han Solo blaster. It's just a Nerf blaster. You put little darts in here and cock it back, and boom. But yeah, more film accurate Han Solo blaster for my buddy Josh for his cosplays, and when we need Han Solo for our videos. So there you go, really nice, well made. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been updating my prop weapons, spray painting. I've actually done a little freelance job with my buddy Tom at I can't pronounce his cosplay photography studio, EVERAGE Studios, I think. But he's taken me under his wing. He's been teaching me about lighting and everything like that, and so on. So I've been helping him out with that, and he let me come down as a prop master, so I've been helping him with his photography and shit. And again, I'll put a link to his Instagram down below so you guys can check him out. But yeah, so there's that. I've been doing all that. So there's a lot of props being built right now at the workshop. A lot of stuff getting ready for Star Wars especially. Another thing I do want to point out, guys, and this is something I've been doing for a while. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter and everything, you'll know that I've been making VHS copies of my Kong remake. I've been making VHS copies of the film. I have about maybe 30 of these stored up in my room and everything, and I've just been constantly recording them. So what I'll do is I'll put the movie on a DVD, on a blank DVD, play it on my Xbox 360, and record my Xbox footage to a blank tape. So I've been buying blank tapes and basically putting these out there. So what's interesting is that I posted on Instagram just this little copy of me just going like, right? And some people commented saying, we'll take a copy. And some people were offering like $20 a copy. Which I'm like, oh, really? For just a tape? Okay. So one of the things I do want to point out, if you guys out there would like a copy of my Kong remake on VHS, if you still have a VCR, it's perfect. We are going to put out DVDs at some point. If you guys would like a copy of this film, just send us a PM and we'll send you a link to our PayPal. And basically it's $20 plus shipping. That's pretty much what I'm going at. I may lower it down to 15 or 10 or whatever, but because people offer 20, I'm going to sell it for 20 plus shipping. So wherever you're at, if you guys would like a copy, an import copy of my remake, it actually, a lot of people say it looks better on VHS. If you guys want a copy, just shoot me a PM and I will ship this out to you. So it's $20 plus shipping. And we'll talk. But there's tons of these out there. We got like about 30 copies stored upstairs. So there's that. Anyway, so without further ado, we are 13 minutes in. Wow, this is probably going to be a really short live stream. Before we get started on any questions, of course, if you guys want to send us fan mail, if you want to send us fan art, if you want to send us pretty much anything, letters and whatever, send it to this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. We'd love to hear from you guys. We love hearing fan mail and everything. As well, if you would like to support this channel, we'll put a link down below to our Patreon page. $1 or more will get you early access, as well as a bunch of other special features. Still working on the kinks on it, but yeah, we're doing pretty good. So anyway, so with questions, something I will answer one or two request questions and whatever, but one thing I want to do, because we are patiently waiting for part 3, I want to try to keep the questions to the 100th episode specifically. So if you guys have any questions about the 100th episode of the Dragon Ball Evolution review, again, guys, go to our channel page. You'll see the first 2 parts. We've been working really hard on this. Definitely go check this out. But if you have any questions about non-spoiler things for part 3, as well as questions about part 1 and 2, shoot us now in the live chat and we will answer them for you, because I love answering questions. Also, I've thought about at some point doing a reading hate comments at some point, because that's hilarious. Anyway, when can we expect part 3? Next week. That's why I'm making this announcement, because a lot of complications happened this week that I've had to take care of, which means I didn't have time really to edit. So part 3 will be coming out next week. Is that one with the monster that looks like... Okay. I don't know what that means, Smith. What are your thoughts on my artwork? Your artwork's amazing, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101. I really appreciate your artwork. It's the fan art's great, and so is for your Jurassic Park Inuyasha crossover. Power Rangers Wild Force. I only watched what was it? The 10th anniversary special Forever Red. That's all I watched of Wild Force. If not that, it was Linkar's History of Power Rangers. Ike Studios has a question about the 100th episode. What was the hardest thing to shoot? I'd say for me, like, it was probably the thing I was probably more concerned about getting right, and that was most of the shots in terms of the backstory. Because with the backstory, the main thing I did was, when I was doing all these sequences, is I was taking reference from other films and other shows, and just kind of matching it frame for frame, essentially. So basically, what's been happening is, the most difficult thing I probably ever shot for the 100th episode was a full night of just shooting green screen here in the garage. I was filming from 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, getting every shot. I was hot, I was sweaty, I was just fighting nothing. Because it's the thing, when you're filming on green screen, I mean, half the time for me, it's pretty easy for me to get into kind of imagining what the environment's like. But half the time you won't know how it looks until you see it in the cutting room, until you see it kind of put together. And that can be really challenging because sometimes you have a shot that you think looks great, but then you go and put it into the compositing and everything and it looks like total ass, and then you got to go back and reshoot it. So for me, trying to figure out what shots are what scenes go where in terms of doing this episode, it was really difficult. And just the fact that I shot an all-nighter, that was a first for me, essentially. Okay, this guy has a question. I want to try to go down here. I just, Juneberg Films asks, if they ask you to do a new version of Dragon Ball for live action, what would you do with the story and who would you cast? Okay, the first thing I would do is definitely make sure that I would be kind of a creative and consultant, and I probably would just be a producer role. I would definitely have Akira Toriyama on board to get it right, for sure. I would definitely hire him. But directing-wise, I would want to go with Zack Snyder. Okay, I know you guys are thinking, oh, he fucked up Superman. He fucked up the DCEU. But here's the thing, guys, with Zack Snyder. He's a really good director. And when I watch Man of Steel, that is the better live-action Dragon Ball Z movie, because the whole fight between him and Zod, that's Goku and Vegeta. So, for me, I would cast him in terms of, directing. Casting-wise, that's difficult. Again, hi, Android. Oh, okay, hello. Good to see you guys. Anyway, so, any thoughts on the live-action Saiyan saga? Is that the fan film trailer? I really like that one. That was really good. I remember that took the internet by storm, essentially. That took the internet completely by storm, and everybody loved it. So, for me, that was cool. But anyway, so in terms of casting, that's a little difficult. It's really hard to tell who I would cast. I know for the Saiyans, it's a multicultural race of people because they're aliens, so you can cast anybody. You can cast an American actor. You can cast, all that shit. So for me, it's like, I remember, okay, this is a funny story, but I remember when I was a kid and Dragon Ball Z was the biggest thing in the world. Biggest thing in the world. I had this magazine that dedicated the whole show, and there was essentially a casting call for a live-action movie. This is back in, 1999. Good to see you too, 18. Sorry, I'm trying to answer questions here. Anyway, so they had this casting call, and some of the casting decisions were spot on, and others were hilarious. Like, the one I'd see as Nappa is, Stone Cold Steve Austin from the wrestling. I would see him as Nappa, and he actually did comment on that back in the day. I remember Goku was the original idea for Goku. He was going to be played by the guy who played Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat movie. They were going to cast him. For the longest time, a lot of people wanted Ray Park to be Vegeta. I can kind of see that or Piccolo. I can see Ray Park as Piccolo or Vegeta. Or actually just Piccolo because he's old enough. I remember, okay, the funniest one. It was Danny DeVito as Yajirobe. I kind of want to see that. Just Danny DeVito as Yajirobe would be the funniest thing. I remember it was Leonardo DiCaprio as Trunks, because at the time he had just did Titanic. He was this super heartthrob, and Trunks was kind of this heartthrob in the anime. So Leo was obviously the first choice for Trunks. Android 18 at the time was Cameron Diaz. That was everybody's top pick, and that's probably why I made that joke in part 1 where we introduced it, where the first time I saw 18, and we're playing the music from The Mask when Cameron Diaz shows up. Dwayne Johnson as a Dragon Ball character would be good. I'd see him as either Hercule or probably Nappa as well. I'm not too sure. Between those two. Mako would have been a great Roshi. I would say that. Yeah, I think like Master Roshi now, because that's the thing, like I would actually recast Chow Yun-Fat. That or Jackie Chan. I would cast Jackie Chan as Master Roshi, if not Chow Yun-Fat. Chi-Chi, I would have to go with the chick from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon who played the princess. I can't remember what her name was, but she was super cool in that movie. So I would cast her as Chi-Chi. And I'm trying to think who else. Like, there's just so many character casting decisions. I think okay. There is one. For Frieza, it wouldn't be, obviously, an actor. It would be CGI. But to voice him, I would choose either Michael Fassbender or Tim Roth. And why Tim Roth? Because Tim Roth is one of my favorite villain actors. Because what's really great about Tim Roth, he played some of my favorite villains. He was Cunningham and Rob Roy. He was in Reservoir Dogs. He was in Pulp Fiction. He was the man with the one eye patch in the 2000s Musketeer. He was Abomination in The Incredible Hulk. Him as Frieza would actually be pretty solid, I would say. Cell, you have to get somebody very sophisticated, so maybe something like a Benedict Cumberbatch. But you don't want to overuse him, or even like I don't know who. I can't remember who played Thanos in the Marvel movies. Oh fuck, what's his name? It's totally escaping me. Him as Cell maybe. But yeah, there's a ton out there. No, I think for Shenron, Josh Brolin. Yeah, Josh Brolin as Cell. I think for Shenron, I would cast James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman, just because they have like those wise voices. I'm trying to think of who else. But yeah, there's a ton of great choices. Okay, if he was 20 years younger for Android 16, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I would totally cast him as Android 16. 17, I would just choose some young kid, essentially, some young guy, probably like a. Okay, I know this is kind of going against the rules, but what would you guys think about Taylor Lautner as Yamcha? I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Because think about it, you can still make fun of the guy. I know he's not Asian, but like, as an American Yamcha, maybe, or Tien, I would say. I hate M. Night Shyamalan and Ding Dong. He's made terrible movies. He only made 2 good movies, and that was Signs and The Sixth Sense. Those are the only movies I liked that he did. But anyway. So, yes, let's keep a Dragon Ball theme. So that's, Launch. Okay, Launch is toughy. Because the thing is with all that, you gotta do it. If you're doing it now, you gotta cast, actors that are young. Not, like, from, like, 90s. For me, I think Launch, maybe something like a Charlize Theron or a, was it Emma Stone, who was Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man? I'd say that. I'm so late. Where's part 3? Part 3 is coming out next week, Claire. Mostly because we need more time on it. King Kai. I would actually keep Sean Shukamal as the voice and just CGI him. Anything that are just creatures, I would keep the same actors. Let's see. Bulma. Bulma's a toughie. I didn't mind Emmy Rossum as Bulma. If you just change it a little bit, she could still do it. I would choose maybe like Anne Hathaway as Bulma, actually. Anne Hathaway's a pretty good actress. I could see her as Bulma. Let's see. Trying to think. Turles. Again, it would probably have to be the same actor who would play Goku, which I don't really have an actor on hand who could really do it well. Again, it'd have to be somebody young, like around 20-ish, I would choose. Krillin casting pick. Okay, that's a toughie. Peter Dinklage. Or no. Peter Dinklage would be, it's a little too easy. He's a little too old. I'd see him as Corrin, maybe. Or something. I don't know what I would cast Peter Dinklage in. I'm trying to... Okay, if he was still alive, Veron Taylor. Veron Taylor, or actually, hell, I would cast Wee Man. Wee Man from Jackass would be an amazing Krillin. But it would probably have to be somebody, like, totally new. Some new little guy to play. Be funny if it was Tony Cox. Just goes around fucking... Tony Cox and Billy Bob Thornton as Goku. And, like, Tony just looked at him like, the fuck you think you're doing, Goku? Your soul is dog shit. Every single goddamn thing about you is ugly. What do you think there will be a Toy Story 5? I actually really kind of want it now, because now that 4 kind of really kind of surprised me, I kind of want to see them 5, and then no more. The artwork was great in Inuyasha Dinosaur 101. Gohan, that would have to be a Asian, hybrid of another, group. Again, you would have to cast a kid. But in terms of older Gohan, if we're going for adult Gohan, I can't really think of really anybody who would do that right. At the moment, at least. I don't know who that is. Okay, oh shit, okay. Jason Momoa as Piccolo or Tien. I would cast either one of them. Chi-Chi's actress? I would either recast Jamie Chung, or I would cast the chick from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The main princess chick. What did you think about James Wan as a director? Yeah, you should stick with horror because you're better at that, and you clearly didn't know what the fuck you were doing, and you were just getting a paycheck. Stick with that Final Destination crap, buddy. Momoa as Vegeta. No, he's too strong. He's too muscle-bound. Vegeta's a bit smaller. Oh god, Android 13. Hi, I'm Android 13. Look at my trucker hat. Never get over Team 4-star. I think I would probably cast Larry the Cable Guy. I don't know why Larry the Cable Guy. Okay, Jason David Frank. Oh, that who would he be in Dragon Ball? Oh, that's tough. Oh, damn it, you made it complicated. Because I love Jason David Frank. Or no, Billy Bob Thornton is Mr. Breves. Actually, I would guess. Android 18 at the moment. See, if it was 90s, it'd be either Cameron Diaz or Charlize Theron. Nowadays, okay, the trick with 18 is that in terms of actors, you can't get anybody who's too sweet, and you got to get a woman who's honestly like really tough, brooding, has that attitude, has a bit of a stronger voice than most girls. You got to get somebody in that range. So it would probably be something like, I don't know, a Christina Loken from Terminator 3, that kind of feel to it. Or, I mean, this might be, okay, I don't know if this would be a good casting decision in terms of, I get, the only one I can think of is like Ellie Fanning, because she actually does really good in like those Sleeping Beauty movies. I'm trying to think who the fuck I would cast. That's really tough. I'm going to have to get back to you on. Brie Larson, actually. I think that or Bulma. Or maybe something like, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson I put maybe. It's really hard to decide. But yeah, Brie Larson would be an interesting choice. Or not. I don't know. I really don't know. Like Brie Larson as launch? Yes. But as 18, no. I don't see her as 18. This is going to be a very tough one. Daisy Ridley, I'd see as a Bulma. Daisy Ridley, I definitely see as a Bulma. I don't know who Kelly Hu is, Claire, so I apologize for that. Dwayne Johnson, the Monsterverse? I could see that happening. Future Trunks actor? You'd have to go for a Leo DiCaprio kind of, like, young teen Leo DiCaprio. Like, right after Titanic Leo DiCaprio. I would probably... Okay, I think I know who I would cast as Vegeta. Adam Driver. Mostly because he has the look of Vegeta. He has the look. I would cast Adam Driver. And then for Goku, actually, I'm thinking this would be a good choice for Goku. I don't know yet. Let me think. I had him and now I lost him. God damn it. Chris Hemsworth is too old for Goku, honestly, Rice Duke. And good to see you, right, by the way, Rice Duke. I'd see Chris Hemsworth as more of a TN. I'd see him as a TN. In terms of, because there's only so... No, I don't like that guy. I really don't like Aaron Taylor Johnson. Again, it'd have to be somebody really young. It'd have to be somebody like at least in his 20s. This is a tough decision. And again, like with the Saiyans, you can cast anybody. It's not limited to Asian. This is gonna fucking bug me until I find somebody. Who are some stars that could really pull that off? Maybe Karen, I don't know. No, Jack Black as Yajirobe would be great. Jack Black as Yajirobe. No! Okay, Tom Holland as Gohan. Tom Holland as Gohan, I could totally see. As Gohan. But not like, not Goku. I think he's a little too young for Goku. Maybe if you're doing Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z, not him as Goku. Okay, what do you think about, like, what would Chris Pratt be? Because I like Chris Pratt. Lenny Batar is Mr. Popo. Hello, young Kobe. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. Kobe? Yes, Mr. Popo. You have to tell me it's okay to go on the lookout. Mr. Popo, it is totally okay to go on the lookout. Bitch, don't tell me what to do. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. Okay, Chris Pratt is Yamcha, maybe. Yamcha you can make Asian. I would actually make him an Asian actor. Oh, fuck. Again, this is gonna bug the shit out of me. I'm trying to think who would be a good... Okay, actually Tom Hiddleston as Frieza would be a good choice too. Yeah, it's really hard to come by. It's really hard to choose nowadays. Like, there's not many, like, white male stars much anymore. Videl, again, I would cast somebody really young. So I would cast maybe Ellie Fanning, probably, in that sense. Actually, yeah, Karen Gillian would actually be a good idea. Or, no, okay. Goku? I got it. And Rice Duke, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but hear me out. Kit Harington as Goku. I think if he changed his accent, he could pull it off. And he gets really bulked. Kit Harington. No, come on. He'd actually be good. I'm kind of okay with that. I think he'd be alright. I think, or at least one Saiyan. At least a Saiyan. Or somebody. But for Frieza, I got it. Iwan Rayon. Because I love Iwan Rayon. I think he's a fantastic villain actor. If he's not the Joker, then he's Frieza. Although, Emilia Clarke as Bulma, that would be a good idea. I actually don't mind. I wouldn't mind Emilia Clarke as Bulma. That would actually be a solid choice, actually. I would actually cast her. This is actually really fun. Thoughts on Jumanji, the next video? Neville, I'll go see it. It looks alright. Gary Oldman, I see more as, like, Dr. Breves, like the main, Bulma's dad, I'd see more of with Gary Oldman. That or Android 20, Dr. Giro, I'd see him as that. Yes, Mark Hamill, oh my god. He would be so good at that. I'm trying to think of a line that, Frieza says that's so iconic. I'm gonna try to do it in Mark Hamill's voice. You know, he's like, The first time we fought, you caught me off guard. To ensure that doesn't happen again, I'm going to take my final form from the start. That's the best Mark Hamill I can do. It'd have to be something like that. Josh Brolin as Cell. We agreed on that, Rice Duke. Josh Brolin would be an amazing Cell. Who would Ryan Reynolds be good as in Dragon Ball? Think about who Ryan Reynolds would be good at. David K. is Zarbon. Yes, Lord Frieza. Yes, I am Megatron. Oh man, and that's another thing with Lion King I want to bring up. I saw a comment on one of the trailers saying this is the perfect test for a Beast Wars movie. I'm like, thank you, because honestly, here's the thing with Beast Wars. That was my generation's Transformers, and I talked to David K about it on Twitter, and said because Hasbro was talking about doing a movie, and we'd love to see him in it, and he was totally on board with it. However, Hasbro came out and said it would be too expensive to make. Are you serious? It'd be too expensive to make a Beast Wars movie. What was the budget on Lion King, the live-action remake? Was it more or less than the fucking Bayformers movies? The fact that it is a completely CGI movie, you could totally do a Beast Wars movie. Totally down for it. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to... Again, we're stuck with Goku. He's the only one we can't cast properly. See... Okay. Maybe Chris Evans as Goku. Or Tien. Either one. Like an older Goku. The thing is with Goku is that not only is he a strong, kind of Superman kind of character, Andrew Garfield. Actually, you know what? Fuck. Andrew Garfield would actually do good as Goku. He's got it. Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield, I could totally see as Goku. I mean, especially with Spider-Man, his hair and shit. Yeah, make that Saiyan hair, totally can see him as Goku. If you made a Friday the 13th film with the original cast members from the 1980s film, who would you bring back? I would actually, here's something interesting with a Friday the 13th reboot, because I'm not the biggest fan of Jason. I would actually love to see, Friday the 13th movie where you think Jason's the killer and it's actually the mom. The mom comes back. And it really catches people off guard. That would be interesting. Because as everybody knows, the original Friday the 13th, it was Jason's mother who was the original killer. Jason didn't show up until part 2. So, there's that. I love how half of this chat, this live stream became about who I would cast in a Dragon Ball movie. Have I played any of the Dragon Ball games? Let's change subject. Yes, I have, Christine. I have played Budokai 1, 2, and 3 because I had a friend who had a PS2 back in the day about 10, 15 years ago, and I would always go to his place and play the Dragon Ball Budokai games, which I love. I love those first 3 games. Those are the pinnacle Dragon Ball games for me. I have played Legendary Warriors on Game Boy Color, and that's a piece of shit. Music's nice, though. I really like Supersonic Warriors on the Game Boy Advance. Really dig that shit. And I really like, I kind of like the Legacy of Goku a little bit. It was okay. It was a little confusing. I've actually really wanted to try Dragon Ball Z Super Boruto on the Super Nintendo. Those are ones I really wanted to try. I really want to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, but unfortunately I can't get this next-gen consoles because it's fucking ridiculous. The next-gen consoles, but I have seen the cutscenes, like the cutscene movies, and it looks spectacular. I haven't played Xenoverse. I haven't played Xenoverse yet, but I heard that was good as well. So for me with Dragon Ball games, I like the games. I do like the games. They're fun. But in terms of like the iconic ones, the original Budokai trilogy is hands down the best Dragon Ball games I've ever played. Hands down. I love those games. I had the strategy guide, everything. Never get enough of them. So that's essentially me with Dragon Ball and video games. I'm trying to think if I played any other ones. Okay, I did play that really shitty Game Boy Advance one. That was like, I think it was like an American-made game where it was like, they took more from the Funimation dub. It was like Dragon Ball Z Tekatsetsu or something. Okay, the game's a total piece of shit, but the music's actually pretty solid. I do like the music in that game. Jack, did you watch the NBA champions with the Raptors? Yeah, I saw everybody celebrating in the streets. I haven't seen that many people celebrating in the streets since Bin Laden got killed. For me, yeah, it was pretty cool. How about 8-bit Dragon Ball games? I don't know if there's any that exist, if there's any, Famicom, NES, Dragon Ball games. I'm not too sure. If there's an Atari game, I'd laugh my ass off. Dragon Ball Z on Atari. on the Atari 2600. Oh, I'm surprised. Was there ever one on Sega Genesis? That'd be interesting. Besides T-Rex and Raptors, what are my favorite theropods? Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, Albertosaurus, Daspletosaurus, I'm trying to think of a Ceratosaurus, Spinosaurus. There's. I wish I was your age, Jack. I'm 27. You don't want to be my age. You want to be younger than that. Are you a fan of Call of Duty? I've only played 1 or 2 games. They're okay. I usually play them when I'm just need to let off some steam, essentially. But I played Call of Duty 4, and I've played Black Ops. I haven't played anything else. Should Goku's parents come back? No, I wouldn't do that shit. I wouldn't try to copy Superman exactly. What celebrities do you think should appear in the MonsterVerse? Oh, that's okay. I'm trying to think of who I would cast in a Godzilla movie. Again, I would cast some of the original actors from the Toho movies. I would cast like Akira Takarada, or I'd bring back Bryan Cranston as Jaguar, as everybody else was. Opinions on Super Smash Brothers. I really don't have an opinion. I think they're okay games. I've only played the original Nintendo 64 game, and I love it. That's one of my favorite games on the console. I remember I played, what was it? I did play Brawl on the GameCube, and I like it mostly for the music. The music is like the best in the series, is Brawl. Like the whole intro music is phenomenal. Love that. If you made a Godzilla anime, how would you handle it? I just do 1954, but like update it and make it more anime with like high school kids or something. Let's see what high schools do when Godzilla attacks. Do we get some comments here? The comment section went away. But yeah, in terms of a Godzilla anime, I would totally do that. What's your favorite Godzilla villain? It's really a tie between, I think it's Mechagodzilla, actually. I like Mechagodzilla. Opening night on Secret Life of Plants? Yeah, that's Evan's department. I would totally send him to that. If you guys want requests for opening nights, again, if you go to our Patreon, $1 or more will get you extra content, but you can also request us for a certain opening night if you go donate to us once a month. Jack, when's the next reaction to George Carlin Thomas' Tank Engine? Again, I did those videos kind of just on my spare time, so it's whenever I get time, I'll do another one, because I know a lot of people really responded to that. Got huge views, which I was surprised by. Showa Mechagodzilla or Heisei Mechagodzilla? It's a mix of Showa, Millennium, Akiru, and Ready Player One are my favorite Mechagodzillas. I'm not a big fan of the 90s Mechagodzilla. I think it looks really goofy, in my opinion. Okay, chill with the caps lock. I want more commentaries. Actually, you know what? That was going to be the original idea for tomorrow's video. If I didn't put out the 100th episode, I was going to put out a commentary. I wasn't too sure on what, but I know the next big commentary I'm going to do is, I'm going to hopefully get the guys up for this, but I want to do a commentary on the Star Wars trilogy, because those are next for me. As well, I actually want to take my Star Wars saga reviews, the original trilogy, and actually, I want to take them and kind of like do it as a fan film kind of compilation. No problem, Brock. Thanks for coming in. I will send you Saber effects as soon as I can, by the way, Brock. That's something I do want to get started on, because I do have a few shots already ready to go. Jet Jagger. Who are we going to fight, Allosaurus or Woolly Mammoth? Have you seen Guanji? I think we know who would win. No, there's no sequel, Smith. Although there is another live-action Dragon Ball movie called Dragon Ball: The Magic Begins. It came out, I think, in the 80s, and it was a Chinese film, and it's really weird. And then if you want to go really obscure, there's a Street Fighter knockoff movie where one of the characters becomes Goku. It's super weird. I remember seeing it on Movie Bob's Big Picture, and I thought that was hysterical. But yeah, that's the other Dragon Ball movie, essentially. Although I did watch his recent video on there's other Godzilla animes, but they're really weird. Mayor Vaughn from Jaws. Amity, as you know, means friendship. We can't close down the beaches. It's the 4th of July. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the redone Allosaurus from Mattel? It's just a repaint. Who gives a shit? It's just for people who don't have it. Do you think the Superman cartoon of the 40s character Mad Scientist Lex Luthor cartoon, didn't really watch that much of the cartoons. I mean, I only watched Terror of the Midway, but that's because I had to do a con review on it. Speaking of con reviews, you guys are probably wondering where the hell that's been, because it's been about since April, hasn't it? Because of the 100th episode, I've had to take more time on that, and I've had to put those episodes on hold, but they are definitely coming back better than ever. One of them will be the second last episode of the show. Look forward to that. So there will be more coming. But yeah, definitely the part 3 will be coming out next week for sure. And one person had a question that after part 3, what's the next review? It's going to be, I'm going to try to do this where I'm going to do a big set of big reviews, like huge, massive scale production reviews, but then there's going to be little small casual reviews on the side, just the basic setup, background, talk about the movie, because I miss doing those, and those are a lot easier to put together. So I definitely want to go back and do those. So the next one after that will be on J.J. Abrams' Super 8. That's a movie I actually have been wanting to talk about for a while. So J.J. Abrams' Super 8 will be the next review after Evolution, after the 100th episode. That'll be the 101 episode. Actually, no. That'll actually be the 102 episode, because technically, my Gundam video, my Mobile Suit Gundam Seed video, actually is the episode that takes place after the 100th episode. So, this will be 102, so I gotta remember the continuity on that. Thoughts on Torosaurus? Thoughts on Evangelion on Netflix? I was looking forward to it, and then I heard there's some changes, so I've been very conflicting about it. I'd have to ask my boy Josh, because he is the ultimate Evangelion expert for me, so I'd have to ask him which is better. Are you going to see Crawl? Yes, I actually really want to see Crawl, because finally, a killer monster movie, a water monster movie that's not a fucking shark. I'm so done with sharks. Let's go back to fucking crocodiles and octopuses, which would ultimately become hentai. Let's go to fucking Legends of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds. Where's my remake of that movie? Where's my remake of Legends of Dinosaurs and Monster Birds? Oh my god. Any horror films I won't look at, essentially, like, review? I'm very open to doing more horror movies. I mean, for Halloween, we are trying to do Mummy Month. We're going to start shooting around August, September. And get that going for an October release date. But I actually kind of have been considering doing the Halloween series. I don't know how I would do it. I have kind of a plot, a story I want to tell. But in terms of reviewing those movies, that would take forever. I'll probably want to wait till next year when Halloween 2020 comes out, essentially, until I do something. But yeah, that's at some point. Like, I do want to start doing more horror movies, especially around Halloween. Halloween is when I think the horror stuff can come in. Actually, one I really want to discuss is The Descent. That's a movie I really want to talk about, because that's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Are you going to see The Joker? Yes, I really want to see that. Joaquin Phoenix looks spectacular. What movie am I most hyped for next year? Probably Godzilla vs. Kong is going to be the big movie of next year for me. Because think about it, next year is going to be the first year without a Star Wars movie, essentially, until they make more of them. Why so serious? Wonder how I got these scars? Why don't we cut you up into little pieces and feed you to your pooches? That way, we can see how loyal a hungry dog really is. It's not about money. It's about sending a message. That's my Heath Ledger Joker, essentially. Joker looks freaking awesome. Yeah, it looks good. Do you think War of the Gargantuas should be part of the Monsterverse? Sure, why not? They gotta do Frankenstein versus Baragon first. Is that a water PPK? Okay. For the this is one of the spray water gun. This is one of the water guns I spray painted to make it look more smaller. It actually looks like a Bond gun, actually, which is cool. But actually, this is the prop gun that Jake so cowardly wielded in our Kong remake. This is the same prop. It was just a water gun. And all we did was just sand off the water pistol part, and we just spray painted it black. But hey, if I ever do a James Bond cosplay, this is like the perfect gun. I feel like 007. You know? And yes, I played GoldenEye. It's okay. But at some point, maybe someday. What Sam Raimi movie would you rather see? Evil Dead 2, directed by or Army of Darkness? I like Army of Darkness. That's my favorite of the Evil Dead movies, in my opinion. I love Army of Darkness. Thoughts on Natsu Ceratops? Don't know what the fuck that is. What Toho monster film do you want to see part of the Monsterverse? Probably I want to see a Mothra spin-off movie. Going to review any 007 movies? No, not right now. Just because I showed the Bond gun doesn't equal... It's confirmed to make 007 reviews. Do you know how long that would fucking take? Is what? There's like 30 of those fucking movies? Oh my god. First phone I got. One of those flip phones. They're alright. They're kind of dumb. Not like today's. Today's, like, technology is totally caught up. So, we are on the last 10 minutes, of course. This is where we answer 3 more questions, and we cut off. But, again, before we get started, just as for those who just joined us, just an update. Part 3 is coming out next week. If you guys want a VHS copy of my Kong remake, look how nice that is, just shoot us a PM, and we'll send you our PayPal. It's $20 plus shipping, and this can be yours. So, there's that. As well, shoutouts. Shoutouts to BATTYALANA, who is Android 18 in our show. I'll put a link down below to her Instagram after this video. EVERAGE Savage Studios, I've been working with him a little bit. Link to his Instagram. I'll also leave a link to Tony Goldmark's on Jerk with a Camera. Guys, go support those guys. They could use the help. And again, if you want to mail us anything, letters, gifts, donations, do so at this address, BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0, and of course, support us on Patreon. So, last 3 questions. Fire away. 3 wishes, 3 questions. And X-nay for the questions for more questions. No substitutions. Okay. Anyway. Will I review the Planet of the Apes movies? That's something I've actually considered. Maybe someday. That is definitely something to consider. If you made a movie about Lon Chaney, who would you cast? Ooh. Who would I cast as Lon Chaney in a biopic? I would probably cast somebody like Andy Serkis, or probably somebody who could emote a lot of emotion because of the acting. A very Shakespearean actor. Maybe even Benedict Cumberbatch I would cast as Lon Chaney. That'd be interesting. Okay, last question. What is my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie? Okay, since we're on the subject, we'll end it with the final Dragon Ball Z movie. What's my favorite? I do have my fair share of good ones. I really dig the first one, Dead Zone. Dead Zone is probably one of my personal favorites, just because I just love that one. And I especially love the Ocean dub version, mostly because they keep the Drunk Gohan song. I'm sorry, that Drunk Gohan song is fucking hilarious, you know? It's like, do, 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 do. I just love that. I love Dead Zone. That's a piece of my child. Like, I remember watching that every New Year's for YTV's Animania. But I really dig the first 3. I like Dead Zone. I like World's Strongest. I like Tree of Might. I think Cooler was okay. I really liked Broly. I remember renting that from Blockbuster, and I dug the shit out of Broly. That was a great movie. Really dark, really messed up. I'm trying to think some other. I think everything after Broly was not my personal favorite. I didn't care. I know Broly's bad, but I only watch it because 18's in it. It's the only movie she's actually legitimately a main role in, which is a shame. I don't think I ever saw Second Coming, although I've heard 50 things about Second Coming. I haven't seen BoJack, and even the ones I haven't seen, I'll just wait for Team 4-Star to abridge, and I'll see the humor in it. I really like their Android 13. That's one of my favorites, is the Android 13 movie. In terms of other films, I think, which Dragon Ball movie is it where all the villains come back for a brief moment and Gohan straight up punches Frieza and kills him instantly? Because that was pretty much the Super 17 arc, but in a movie form. I can't remember which Dragon Ball movie that was. Was that Fusion Reborn? It couldn't have been Fusion Reborn. I can't remember. I didn't see Wrath of the Dragon. I really dug Battle of Gods. I saw that in theaters, and I loved it. That was, like, a great time at the theater. And funny enough, at that time, I was supposed to see Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go fucking do that. So for me, yeah, Battle of Gods. I really dug Resurrection F, and I really liked the new Broly movie. Fusion Reborn, that was the one with all the villains coming back and Frieza getting punched in the gut by Gohan. Okay. I didn't see that. I've seen that one scene of Frieza and Gohan and Videl as the Seiya superhero things. But that's just me. So for me, that's pretty much all the Dragon Ball movies I've seen, and aside from Evolution. Wait, guys, just wait till part 3. You guys are going to be really surprised in my opinion of this. I do say it does suck. Like, it does suck, but I'll just say this as a minor spoiler for the review. I hate it for reasons that most people don't. And that will be saying something come part 3, which comes out next week, hopefully. I just need more time on it. So that's it for this live stream, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. I just wanted to get this out there quickly to let you know where the fuck part 3 is. Actually, funny enough, the original, because something very quickly off subject. One thing I wanted to do at some point, I was thinking about this for part 3, but I had no idea how to do it. I've always wanted to open a parter on essentially one of my favorite cow and chicken cartoons, which is the Ugliest Weenie 2-parter. Because in that one, it's 3 cartoons. So you have the Ugliest Weenie Part 1, you have the I Am Weasel thing, and then you have the epilogue of Ugliest Weenie. And I always remember that episode, and I remember when the red guy came into, like, the desert background, and he kind of just rolls in, and he's like, talking about the recap, and, you know, he's like, and he's like, you know, so get ready for part 3 of the Ugliest Weenie, and then you hear some guy going, hey! What happened to part 2? Was that Weasel thing part 2? Yes, it was part 2 of our show. Now this is part 3 of the show, which is part 2 of the Ugliest Weenie. So what are you doing on the show? Nurse, have this kid removed. I've always wanted to do a skit like that, like just kind of a recreation of that, because that's one of my favorite moments in Cow and Chicken, which I love. But that was my original idea for part 3 to open it, but we've got something better planned. We got a little running joke in the opening of this 3-parter. So, yeah, of course, guys, look forward to part 3 next week. I do apologize that it's not out this week. I just need another week to work on it. It's about 90% done. I just got to do a few more effects. I'm actually going to work overtime tonight and get this going. Yeah, I know, like, Neighbors! He never shows up when I need it. Anyway, so, of course, guys, if you guys want to send us donations, gifts, letters, and everything, link down below or to our address, which is BigJackFilms, P.O. Box 326, Queensville, Ontario, L0G1R0. Would love to hear from you. Of course, if you guys want to support the channel, link down below to our Patreon after this live stream. Link down below to our Patreon. $1 or more will get you early access, as well as other special features. Especially if you have a request for an opening night. Go link down below to our Patreon, donate $1 a month. That's all you need to do. There's that. Of course, if you want to purchase a VHS underground copy of my Kong remake, go send us a personal message on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, and definitely go get a copy. It's $20 plus shipping, and enjoy yourself. So it looks better on VHS. Also, quick little shout-outs to EVERAGE Studios, link down below to his Instagram. BATTYALANA, who plays Android 18 on our show, link down below to her Instagram. Wonderful talent. Also, link down below to Tony Goldmark, Some Jerk with the Camera. Go support his content. He's kind of having a rough week, but we want to give a loving shout-out to him. Aside from that, one last thing before I go. I have TikTok now. If you guys don't know what TikTok is, it's essentially Vine 2.0. I like to do a few skits here and there, so I will put a link down below to our TikTok account. You guys can go follow me on TikTok and enjoy yourselves. But until the next video, guys, of course, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, and I gotta finish part 3 and take care of this piece of shit. Later.